Hey Stampers, it's Brandy here with Brandy's Cards. I'm so excited to craft with you today. We're going to be using the Memorable Blooms bundle, and we're going to use some strips of paper, just some random strips of paper that you can use to enhance your card and make some really fun, simple note cards. So I've got about 8 different cards here. I'm going to show you how I colored the flowers, and I'm actually going to show you how you can take them up maybe another notch and maybe add some color there in the center. So we're going to get started. I have my Memorable Blooms bundle right here, and I'm going to show you what this set looks like. It is really lovely. I've done some other cards with it as well, so you might recall seeing this one. It's definitely a favorite of mine. I love some of these other pieces that are in here, the different shapes and ornate type pieces. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep it simple today. We're going to do some simple stamping, which I am so excited about. So we're going to use our Stampin Blends to color, but there's lots of different things that you can do. You can color some of your flowers with watercolor pencils. Of course, we have our Stampin' Write markers, and you could even use the Stampin Blends. So lots of different ways to color them, but today I'm going to focus on Stampin Blends. Those are alcohol-based markers. Therefore, we're going to need our Memento black ink pad for our images. So I have a scrap here, and I'm just going to bring in my piece of basic white, and I have my stamp here. So we're going to go ahead and do this a couple of different ways. So the first way that I'm going to show you is let's just focus on getting all these images down first. So I'm just adding some Memento black to my stamp, and we're just going to stamp it straight down and straight up. And that is gorgeous for sure, don't you think? Such a pretty image. Now I do have my simple chamois here, so I'm just going to go ahead and clean my stamp right now so that I don't forget, because we're definitely going to need it later. All right, then I have my leaves. So on the cards that we're doing today, I really only need at least, I think I just need one. So we're just going to do one. I'm going to color one of those for you today. And then I have the flowers. So because this guy's littler and I can kind of move it around, I'm just going to stamp it right on, push it on my stamp pad. So I have 3 fabulous images here. Now the colors of the Stampin' Blends that I'm going to use today, I have Granny Apple Green, I have Daffodil Delight, Melon Mambo, and I have Flirty Flamingo. But I encourage you to grab some maybe Pumpkin Pie or Timid Tiger, one of our new colors, and kind of play with those colors. I'm going to give you a starting place, and my hope is to get your creativity and mojo going, and then you can take it from there. Okay. So here we go. We're going to just jump right in, I guess, and give this guy a go. I think the first thing though that we're going to focus on are these 2 flowers, because these 2 flowers are going to be on our first card. So what I think I'm going to do is start that direction, and we're going to start with some light. This is actually Lemon Lolly. So I had Lemon Lolly in here, and I had my Daffodil Delight. So there's my Daffodil Delight, but I think I'm just going to use these 2 and see how it goes. So here we go. So I'm going to start out with the light Lemon Lolly, and I'm going to just kind of show you how I colored this. Now it's funny because when I first did this, Amanda came in to work, and she said, "Oh my gosh, that looks like a tropical flower. I absolutely love how you colored that." So I thought, well, if she really liked it and I really liked it, then maybe y'all would like it too. So I was excited to show you how I colored it. Now this one is dark Lemon Lolly, and you can see I'm not really blending at all at this point. I'm just adding a bit of light in the center, moving my way out just a wee bit darker. Then I have a light Flirty Flamingo, and see how I'm really not adding much color yet. Now one of the reasons that I'm not doing that is because I know that I have more colors I want to add, and if you've done blending with our Stampin' Blends, you know that it can bleed the outline or the dark line if you get too much going all at once. So I am just adding a bit of, this one is dark flirty flamingo. It's quite a bit darker, isn't it? Yep. And so just adding a little bit of that right around my flower. Then I'm going to finish it up here with my light melon mambo. That's really all I need is that lighter melon mambo, because in reality it's actually pretty dark compared to the other colors. And you can kind of see I'm just quickly kind of filling in the tips of my flower. And my hope is to get, you know, some different colors working through there. Okay, now here's the deal. I'm going to go back and pull back in my dark lemon lolly. And I'm going to use that to kind of blend into the other two colors. And the other two colors are Flirty Flamingo and Light Melon Mambo. And what that's going to do is that's going to just soften this up just a little bit. And you can kind of see I'm sort of brushing up into that color. It really kind of enhances that middle color. And just really kind of makes it stand out, which I absolutely love. So do you see that? Isn't that beautiful? And if you wanted to, you could go back in and you could pull in your dark flirty flamingo again. And if you wanted to get just a bit more tone or more color in there, you can certainly do that. And I'm just sort of adding it very wispy like, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to add too much more because I actually really like it. I think it's quite lovely just the way that it is. And of course, you can see on this situation, I'm not really doing my swirls or lots of blending here because I don't want to put too much ink down, because what'll happen is it'll start to kind of bleed the lines, right? Some of the darker lines and from our memento. But I think I do have my my light melon mambo here. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more dark here to my tips, just to kind of get that intense color, because I just think that's the coolest. Okay, so there we go. I think we're done there. Ooh, doesn't that look beautiful? What do you think? If you like it, be sure to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So I've got lots of fun videos coming for you. I'm actually popping back on all of the Stampin' Blend lids because, you know, I just didn't want to pop them on and off while I was talking with you all. Okay, so if you're looking for the memorable blooms, I believe it was an online exclusive product. And that just means that it's not available in any Stampin' Up! Publication, that you have to look online. So you can absolutely find it there. And speaking of that, if you're a customer of Brandy's Cards, I am super excited. All of our catalogs are shipping, and we are just so excited for you to get the new annual catalog in your hands. It's amazing. Stampin' Up! Has listened to us. They've made some changes, and I think you're going to absolutely love all of those changes. So our designer series papers are back together, and so they made some really great adjustments that I think are gonna, you know, bring you back to how our original catalogs were. Very excited about that. Now, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please be sure to reach out to me at brandyscards.com/contact. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Of course, send you a set of catalogs. So just reach out to me and make sure that you provide me with your address as well. But if you're one of my current customers, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. Your catalog is on its way. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my flower, and we're going to go over to the leaf. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start out with some light Granny Apple Green. And I am just going to color those leaves. And I'm just adding, gosh, what do I want to say? Just a thin, quick layer. I am not getting caught up in those leaves right now. So I'm just adding that thin, quick layer. And then I'm going to come over here to my little, you know, leaf pieces over here and my wispies, and just add a little bit of my green over here. Now you can mix and match some of your greens if you would like. You could use some, gosh, you could use some old olive, you could use some mossy meadow. There is a bunch of different beautiful greens that we have here at Stampin' Up. So, definitely play with those. And then, before I put that away, I would go ahead and add some dark to these because it just gives you a little bit more pop. By adding some lights and some darks, you have, a little bit more contrast and pop. It kind of brings it to life, doesn't it? So that's why I'm kind of going back through here and adding it that way. All right, so before I'm done, I do want to kind of blend this out just a little bit. It was just a little bit too much of, and I actually really like the brush tip the best. So I'm just going to kind of get in there and just kind of bring that out just a little bit. And the very last thing that I would really like to do is I kind of go back and forth whether or not I like to add, kind of outline the stems or the branches, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that on this one. And so I think that's absolutely gorgeous. And then of course we have our flower over here. I haven't actually done those leaves for you yet. So we've got to make sure and get that done because that will bring this guy to life. And then we are going to die cut these pieces. So let's come back in here and we're going to add some dark. I'm not going to really get caught up in the blending of this. These leaves are so small that I'm not sure that you could really get a whole lot of blending in there. So don't, give yourself a little bit of a break there and focus on the lines that Stampin' Up! Has already created in that image to bring out some of the dark. Okay, so here we go. As I showed you earlier, this stamp set has some fantastic dies that go with it. We all love our dies. And so here are the dies that cut out these pieces. And I'm going to just grab this one because I know we're going to end up using him eventually too. Okay, so you're going to run this through your cut and emboss machine and you're going to die cut those images. And when you do, you get these lovely pieces. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this card together. And if we need to, we could always die cut another piece for the inside if we want to. Okay, so I have my cardstock cut and ready. It's over kind of here to the side. And the card that we're going to make today is absolutely beautiful. We're going to use the lemon lolly, and then we're going to complement it with some coastal cabana. And then, of course, this flower that's just lovely with the yellows. It's just really going to bring it to life. So again, this one is probably the one that is going to be a little bit more, have more to it than the others. The others are easy peasy. So I have a white card base here, and I'm just kind of pulling together all of my pieces. There's my lemon lolly. I mentioned earlier we're going to use this image to stamp again, so I wanted to get it clean. So this is Daffodil Delight. This is Lemon Lolly. I went a shade darker on purpose. I did that because I wanted it to stand out just a little bit darker than a watermark. So I'm just going to, see that? Isn't that fantastic? So I'm just going to stamp my flower around, and I'm going to kind of avoid the stem. I don't really want the stem part of it on there, but I'm just going to kind of move my way around. Bam, we're good to go there. That looks good. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to put this aside. Then what you're going to need is our new corrugated embossing folder. This thing is amazing. It's a mini corrugated embossing folder. I absolutely love it. It needs to be a staple in your craft room. It is fantastic. So here, let me show you the difference. So what I did is I stamped it first, and then I put it into the folder, ran it through my cut and emboss machine, and look at that. Oh yeah, I just created my own like fabulous background texture. It's amazing. It's amazing, amazing. And so then what you're going to do that is going to layer on top of your card. Now these pieces, I actually cut them just a wee bit bigger on purpose because that corrugated folder, it actually kind of scrunches it, right? Because it's corrugated. So I feel like I lose a little bit of my dimension. So, you know, length, I suppose is the right word. So I do cut mine down. And this is going to end up being 5 1/4. So I'm just kind of trimming this guy and making sure that it's the right size so that we can put our card together. Okay, here we go. Let's get this guy put together. Now you know how to color those flowers. And I'm going to show you a fun, quick, easy way to put it together. So I have liquid adhesive here, and I am going to add a wee bit right behind my lemon lolly cardstock, and then that is going to adhere. Let's see, I don't think there's really any specific orientation. I kind of stamped it all over, so I'm just going to add that right over in that direction. The next thing I'm going to do is I have a piece of Coastal Cabana here, and I might actually cut that just 1/4 inch down. It looked a little long to me, so I'm just going to pull out my my trimmer here, and I know that it's hard to see in the camera. I just don't have enough space here on my desk. So then I am going to just add this right in here. Now, if you are wanting to recreate this card, no worries. All of the sizes and the dimensions will be on BrandysCards.com/blog. So that's where you'll find all of those sizes and those dimensions. We do have a free downloadable tutorial. We love to do that for you here at Brandy's Cards for lots of different reasons. We are so grateful for your love, your support, your business, and we want you to craft. We want you to pull out your idea and inspiration book. And if you don't have this stamp set, you probably have another one that will work beautifully in this layout. So that is our goal, is to give you lots of ideas to keep you crafting for some time. Okay, so I have 2 basic white pieces of paper here, and I'm going to pull in some Coastal Cabana. That is a fantastic color, and I'm going to use I Appreciate Your Thoughtfulness. Now, when I do this, I generally try to stamp on a scrap piece of paper first. So let's go ahead and do that. And I do that just because I want to kind of get orientated with my stamp. So I think that looked pretty good, and we'll stick it right there. Perfect. Okay, so we're all done with Coastal Cabana. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this is Summer Splash. I may have picked the wrong one, but I think it's going to work totally fine, don't you? I think it's going to look just fine. So here we go. We're going to flip this over, and we're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals. We are going to layer white on white. That is something that I love to do. And, you know, and I would encourage you to also, you know, do some layering like that. Having colors is fantastic, but sometimes we don't have all the colors. So, you know, pull out some white. It really does bring out the colors beautifully. So you can see we're going to add that right there. And we have our flowers. Are you ready for our flowers and how those are going to, ooh, wow. And then you add the beautiful yellow and red to that. Isn't that amazing? And I should say pink because that was Melon Mambo is what that one was. And so we're just going to add that right up here to the side. And then I'm going to add a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals right here behind my flower. And we're going to adhere it to our card. And we're just about done with this card. Let's see, how do I want that flower? Doesn't that look tropical? Our friends in tropical places. Oh, that makes us want to just come visit you and enjoy some warm sunshine. I'm going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals here in the back of the larger piece. I kind of was, you know, kind of going back and forth whether I wanted to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway because I do like things lifted and popped up a bit. Okay, so we're going to add this one right here and kind of center it over our Coastal Cabana piece. So there is our first card for you. Yeah, how cool is that? So I do have one more card that I'm excited to share with you and show you. This one is also quite simple, and this one is also a white card base. So here's my white card base, and I'm just gonna fold my white card base, and check this out. This is a scrap piece, because remember I said we're gonna use scraps today. Well, I have more examples to show you. I have 8 cards total here, and this is kind of where it started. So we're gonna take a scrap of Coastal Cabana, and we are going to put it down the spine or the fold of the card. This is just a piece of corrugated embossing folder scrap that I just cut off that was gonna go in the trash, and then I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. This would actually be really cool right along the Coastal Cabana. So there is the first part of my card. Now remember how we colored this flower? And do you remember I actually stamped another one? I stamped this one. So this one is die cuts with this piece here. And I went ahead and colored another one for you the exact same way that I colored this guy. And so my thinking was, well, how cool would that be to take this one and put it here? Oh yeah, now you see where I'm going with this. So I have some Night of Navy here, and I thought that it would be nice to switch up the sentiment color with some Night of Navy ink. And I'm looking for my scrap here, see where that went. Oh, there it is, there's my scrap. So I'm gonna grab my scrap paper, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stamp our sentiment. Our sentiment is "You mean the world to me." But we're gonna get it stamped just once or so, so that I know kind of my orientation of that, and that looks fantastic. So I am going to put this one here, and I'm going to stamp "You mean the world to me" right there. Now, isn't that gorgeous? Now, you can do a couple different things. You can pop this guy up if you want, which I would recommend that you do. It's absolutely lovely, right? So you can do that. And then once you get him popped up, we're going to add him to the card. You can even tie, maybe like take some baker's twine if you wanted to. And you could use some baker's twine and tie it around the stem for kind of a bow. I also have, you guys have heard about me talk about these, purple and pink adhesive back sequins that were for celebration this past January and February of 2025. Yes, I love them. And yes, I love all the colors, but the white is my favorite because they are quite iridescent, which I think really is lovely on our cards. So I have a couple packs left, and I'm holding them close. Yes, I'm loving them. So we can add, a few, what do I want to say, the white ones here and there. I did a bigger one down there. Of course, you have this guy here, and, just add a couple of these pretty adhesive back sequins to your card, and it just really adds some lovely pop to it and some color. So there we go. Whoop, that one kind of got a little wonky there. All right, so there's my 2 cards for you. Now I'm going to show you one more idea before I go, and then I'm going to show you all of the cards. So if you haven't done so already, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear which color combination you like, or maybe a color combination that I should try. I would love to hear, and which card is your favorite too. Yeah, it's always fun when I go back and I look at all of y'all's comments. It just makes me so happy to see. And then when you say, oh my gosh, I created that and I absolutely loved it, well, that is the best. Okay, so what I'm pulling out now is my cut and emboss machine. And I am going to go ahead and cut that one flower, if I can figure out where I set it down at. Oh, actually, I didn't color him yet, did I? Oh dear. Okay, so I'm going to die cut one that's not colored, and I'm going to show you an idea that I think is super, super cool. So let's get these 2 out of the way. I'll just bring this right back in here. And if you have some washi tape, if you're worried about your die moving around, grab yourself some washi tape and you can secure that piece. You're good to go. But I'm just going to go ahead and push it through. And then I'm going to give you another idea. And this idea is going to be for the inside of your card. Okay? So there we go. We have our cut and emboss guy over here. Get him out of the way. Okay, so there's our die cut piece, which is fantastic. So check this out. So here is my idea, is you could, and actually that is the different card. Did you see that? So here is one that I did with some pinks and melon bombo. Here is one that I did with pumpkin pie. So this one's pumpkin pie and daffodil delight and lemon lolly. This one is your melon mambo, flirty flamingo and yellow. So it just really changes it. Not a ton, but it does. It changes the flower and kind of brings it to life in a different way. So I would encourage you to color this flower identical to that flower. And then what you're going to do is you're going to glue it here on the inside of your card. Then you're going to flip it over and you're going to cut off the excess. Because if you were to stamp this piece here and color it, well, as you know, our Stampin Blends bleed. So you would see the color of the Stampin Blend in the back. So here, let me show you a card that I did that with. So here is a beautiful card. And you can see this one, I did that exact thing. I colored it, adhered it to the inside, turned it over and snipped off the edges. So it just added something really lovely inside that card. So here is another really easy note card for you. This one is stamped directly onto the white layered piece. Are you ready for a few more? I've got a few more for you. So here's one. So here's another. So this one, I focused on the yellow and I did the pumpkin pie there in the center of this one. So just another look here. I did the Coastal Cabana accent and lemon lolly here in the background. The next one I have is I kind of went the same direction with it, but I decided to go along the fold or the crease of the card and I did the straight red, or should I say flirty flamingo. So you can see that between the melon mambo and the flirty flamingo, you get kind of a really nice, beautiful, real red flower. Then I thought, well, gosh, what if I even add a little bit more? And so I did that pumpkin pie with the yellow in the center. And you can see I added the granny apple green, which kind of tied in with my leaves. So just as you can see, it's a progression of really lovely note cards that you could make for somebody. And I could even see these being an Easter, Easter cards. So this one, you can see this one I did with purples. And I stamped the flowers here, but this is such a small layer of my Highland Heather here in the back. That you really can't see what the image is, but I do kind of like it stamped. It did add something that I thought was quite nice. This was a die cut out of the Memorable Blooms die set. So that is what this is. And now that I think about it, I feel like this set is on the last chance list. So if you're looking at this and you're interested in this bundle, make sure that you go get it before it's gone. So once our products move to the last chance list, well, then they're on their way to retirement. When they sell out, they're retired. So that's how you can look at it. When they get there, they don't have much time left before they hit retirement. So I'm going to pull my camera up. I've got a couple more cards to show you, and then we'll be done today. I'm so excited to read your comments and hear which cards you liked the best. So here we go. Let's look under our camera, and we're going to put all of these cards out here for you. And gosh, I love that purple one, and I love that. That is so fun. So this is the one we just did. So that one kind of took it a different direction. Here is, something similar to the pumpkin pie and the orange flower. Here is the one that I showed you just a minute ago. Oh yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And then here is just, this one is simple. This one is just stamped right on to the cardstock, but yet it's still so lovely and is just quite nice. Now, the last one I want to show you, this one I did, I think I've done a couple of cards like this now, and I just thought it was fun. Another way to show you, you could stamp the flower, and so it would be this flower up the, up the side of the card, and then color it. So here, that just gives you kind of another idea and a way to use that. And here, I just used my Lemon Lolly cardstock that was corrugated as the focal point. But then as I was doing that, that's when I thought, okay, I'm going to stamp that paper too. So that's how I got that one as well. Okay, there you go. You have got a lot of different cards there. And I think one thing I love about this is I think these cards would make a beautiful gift. I think you could bundle them beautifully. And even if you made yourself some coordinating envelopes to go with these cards, put a nice bow around them, and they would make a lovely, lovely gift. Anyway, I am so grateful that y'all stopped by. I hope that you enjoyed my projects and cards today. Don't forget to leave me a comment. I'd love to know that you stopped by, and I would love to hear which cards you like and if you're going to give it a try. And don't forget, the Memorable Blooms is on its way to retirement, so be sure to go over to the last chance list and check it out. And if you're a customer of Brandy's Cards, please know I'm so grateful for you. And your new annual catalog should be in the mail on its way to you soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. You don't want to miss that happy mail. And if you have any questions, please be sure to let me know. And remember, Stampin' Up! Is changing their new host rewards. And so no more host codes. We're super excited about that. We're moving on to Stampin' Rewards that start April 15th of 2025. So I have a page on Brandy's Cards that you can read all about the new Stampin' Rewards program. And I've also got some videos for you because yes, you're still getting happy mail from me. So definitely make sure you go over there and check that out. I share all the details there. All right, thank you for joining me. Have a blessed day. Bye, y'all.